Okay, good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Medium Blessings, Andrew Spirit's YouTube channel. My name is Andrew Spirit. I'm a psychic medium and spiritual development teacher and energy healer. And on Sundays, I like to just hop on for general discussion, Q&A. I won't be channeling any messages. That's for Thursday nights on Facebook. The Sunday lives are just for some info sharing, topics of interest, any spiritual development topics. And you're welcome to ask your questions or suggest topics, spiritual development topics. I'd be happy to discuss those during the lives as well. Some of the past sessions we've covered topics like connecting with your spirit guides, meditation, angels, even a little bit about how psychic mediums work. So if any of those interest you, you're welcome to suggest them, and I'd be happy to discuss either fresh new topics or ones we've covered before. And if you're interested, the previous videos should still be on the channel. I think they remain on for at least a few weeks. So if you want to take a look at those and see if any of those interest you, go ahead. And also please subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified when I do go live. The Sunday lives are not always the same time. I like to basically say between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I will jump on depending on my availability and where I am and what I'm doing. So Sundays, roughly between 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Toronto time zone, I go on live, and this is just an opportunity to ask your general questions on spiritual development, anything to do with energy, spirit, guides, healing, meditation, how some psychic mediums work, how I work, some other free resources. If you're looking for some online groups, spiritual community groups to join, I have a whole bunch. Some of them may be in or around the area you live. I'd be happy to offer those to you. And also, I want to mention I also teach level 1 and 2 spiritual development classes, as well as one-on-one mentoring. So I do it, most of the classes are online. So the level 1 and 2 development classes are typically done in groups, small groups, minimum of 3 or more people. And the topics with the description are all listed on my website. And I'm actually just going to put my website in the comments for you. It's mediumblessings.weebly.com. And on my site, you'll find more info about me personally, what I teach, the topics of interest, the spiritual development topics I teach. Also, if any of you have existing psychic / mediumship abilities, I also love to mentor and help people develop their skills. So if you prefer a one-on-one setting, I can do that online or in person, whatever works for you. So I've just posted my link on the chat, live chat. Welcome, PB. So you're welcome to read up more about me and what I do on my website. Like I said, I love to teach and share information as well, so I can help you develop your gifts. If you're looking for a group setting to interact with others, maybe consider taking level 1 or 2 development classes. Or if you're a little bit more advanced or you want to do more of a one-on-one setting, I do one-on-one mentoring as well, in person or online. Same goes with my one-on-one psychic mediumship readings. If you want a private reading, I'm happy to do those for you as well. You can find my schedule, my calendar of availability on my website, or you can message me for specific times. Also intuitive Reiki. I do intuitive Reiki energy healings, and I can do that remotely as well as in person from my home. So if any of that interests you, be in touch. But for Sunday, we're just going to focus on general spiritual development topics of interest. For psychic messages, I do that on Thursdays on Facebook. So you're welcome to join us on Thursdays, where you're welcome to post questions, comments, and Spirit guides me to some of you who are tuning in, and I offer free psychic messages. That's Thursdays on Facebook. So if you subscribe to that, you'll get the notification when the lives begin. That is always starting at 7 p.m. on Thursdays. Sundays is between 4 and 7 on YouTube. So if any of that interests you, feel free to join. And also invite anybody else who's looking for a spiritual development community to join with, or if they just want some information. I'd be happy to share whatever I've learned, whatever I know along the lines of spiritual development topics It's a good opportunity for some free resources, free connections. So if you're looking for any of that, or you know anybody else who is, please have them connect with me or join in the lives. So basically, if you would like to ask any questions along the lines of guides, angels, energy, spiritual development, feel free to post, and I will share with you whatever I can. There may be a couple of topics where I won't be much help. One or two examples being tarot. I don't do tarot cards. I don't read or work with tarot, so I won't be able to help you much with tarot, or tuning in or reading with crystals or runestones, because I don't use those myself. I just tap in directly to your energy, the energy of your guides, deceased loved ones, angels, etc. So I can help with a fair amount of that. So what I usually do is I just stay online for a while and just see if there are any questions. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's a little busier. I know the weather's been good, so a lot of people are outside enjoying the weather. Don't blame them. So it should pick up a little bit more when it cools down, I think. But if you have any questions, like I said, you're welcome to post, and I will do my best to answer and share whatever I can. Also, thanks for those who just jumped on and joined in. You're welcome to join us anytime. Subscribe so you get notifications, or visit us on Facebook. Yeah, okay. So I'll just hang on for a while, make sure everyone at least gets a quick chance to ask a question if they have any. Hi, Joanne, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I figured as much. The weather's been so good that most people are outside enjoying the weather. I don't blame them. I wouldn't mind doing the same. But just thought I'd better pop in anyway and just see if anyone does have any questions. So I'll be on for a little bit. And okay, Helen, you got a good, very, very good question there. How to differentiate between guides sending messages or your own ego. Not easy. That's a good idea, Joanne. Yeah, do some lives from nature. I'll try and remember that. So guides and ego, not always easy, very tricky to discern sometimes. So to start off, basically, if the message feels like it's coming from a place of love or is presented in a very kind, loving way, even if it's something that's maybe difficult to hear for someone or difficult for you to convey, if it's brought through in the most loving way possible, that's a good sign it's coming from the right source, the guides. If it comes through negatively or judgmentally in any way or critically, that's probably usually ego. So you could get something, you could get advice or direction from a guides that may seem even cause you to feel a bit fearful. Doesn't mean it's coming from ego. Sometimes it's the right choice to make, but your ego or individual self doesn't like it, so it feels a bit of a fear. But if it's coming from the right place, it's okay to be afraid or feel fearful, but you shouldn't let it stop you from making that choice. So basically, if you're not certain and you're getting intuitive hits, take a few minutes aside, sit in the quiet, tune in and say, can you just give me more clarification or make sure that I'm getting this from the right source? Make sure it feels comfortable. Your guides will never force you or push you in any way to do what they say, or follow their instruction. They will always present you with what they feel is in your best interest, but they leave the decision up to you. So guides and angels never force you to take decisions. They only lead you where they feel you need to be, and then they leave the choice up to you. So they will always, always, always respect your free will, and they will not step on personal boundaries. Ego can be different. Ego likes to put you first, and if it's not convenient or safe, or anything that the ego is not comfortable with, it'll usually kill the idea, shut it down. So usually go with how it feels. Try to tap into how it feels. Does it come from a source that feels loving or not? So use those as some guidelines that should at least help, but sometimes you may miss the mark. Like I said, it's not easy, but if you keep practicing that approach, you will get better at it. Okay. All right, what else do we have? Okay, Joanne's got the right idea. She's gone off to enjoy the outdoors, get some fresh air. If I can, I may do the same. I spent the afternoon helping someone move for about almost 4 hours, so my back is pretty tight. But the weather's looking lovely. But like I said, I'll be online for a little bit longer. Just want to make sure everybody who has a question gets an opportunity to ask. Joanne, I wasn't even aware about the mini moon. I specifically try to avoid following the lunar cycle so I don't get caught up in the what the energies may do. So I try not to pay attention to it, but I wasn't aware of the mini moon, so I don't even know when that is coming up. So like I said, I try to just go day by day as best I can. Oh, a second moon for 2 months. Okay. No, I wasn't aware. Yeah, so I try to not spend too much time in the upper realms and the lunar cycles and the solar flares and all that energetic activity, because I kind of don't really want to know about it. I know we all get affected different ways, but I like to just kind of just wing it and take it day by day. Okay. So if there are any specific topics that you have thought of that you'd like me to discuss, you're welcome to suggest them. I'd be happy to cover even 2 or 3 different topics in the same live, depending on how many questions we have. I'm happy to do that. So if you think of anything now, or even right after the live or in the coming days, keep a record of it or send it to me in a message and tell me you'd like to discuss more about X, Y, Z. I'd be happy to cover that. Sometimes we don't always remember, or right in the moment we can't really think of what we wanted to ask, and it comes back to us in a few days later. But keep your topics. Please send suggestions. Okay, Pamela's question. Heaven and nature are connected. So for me, okay, have a good evening, Joanne. Thanks for joining us. Pamela, for me, it's almost like they're basically, yes, almost like they are connected and almost one and the same, because basically with nature, anything that follows nature, whether it's plants and animals are instinctual and they're always in the moment. They just purely respond and behave instinctually. They don't have egos, they don't hold grudges, they don't think about what's coming up ahead, they don't think of the past. Animals and those kind of things are just in the moment all times. Nature and flowers and animals, they can only behave what they've been designed to do and behave like. So for me, they're definitely connected. For me, heaven is more like a state of being or consciousness. It's basically, for me, heaven means pure bliss, pure awareness, enlightenment, at one with everything there is. No projecting forward or backward, no ego, just bliss. So for me, I'd say, yeah, heaven and nature are in many, many ways connected. I believe once in a while we have a brief moments or experiences of what heaven can be like. Some maybe more than others. Nature is a good way to kind of get closer to heaven. When you're away from man-made things and technologies and frequencies, and you're in nature where it's basically natural, where you can ground and just feel connected to nature without disruptions, man-made disruptions that is, then I feel you're definitely closer to your natural state and also heaven. So yeah, a good question, Pamela. Helen's question, do our guides ever disagree with each other on the messages they give us? I don't believe so, because on the other side, spirit guides technically operate as like a unit. So they're not like separate people in separate bodies. Sometimes you get complex, you get memory complexes, or I should say streams of consciousness that maybe were in separate bodies in a previous incarnation, but on a spiritual level, everything is connected, so they all operate as a unit cooperatively. So it's not like ego. They don't compete. They basically combine their awareness, their consciousness, their resources, and they act as a unit. So I don't think they ever disagree on their messages to us. It's always given as lovingly as possible. But very interesting question, though. Pamela, yes, I think my interpretation or understanding of different levels in heaven, for me, it's the levels of, I can call it either levels of conscious awareness or levels of unconditional love, depending on how far you have evolved, where your evolution is at. I believe that determines what your level of heaven is going to be like, or where you get to go. So if you're a highly, highly evolved being, for example, like maybe Gandhi or Buddha, when you leave your body, I think you'll be at that certain level that is that resonates and is a match for your vibrational frequency. If you were the opposite, then I think when you pass over, you'll be at a lower level of heaven, if we can put it in those words. I think it depends on where your evolution is at, your vibration, that determines your, I guess, seventh heaven, sixth heaven, your level of heaven, or your level of blissfulness, if I can say that. So yeah, I think there are definitely different levels in so many things. There's a level in our evolution, our vibration, where our awareness is at. So yeah, definitely, and also from what I've gathered from many teachers and mentors, there are different levels of heaven/consciousness. So good comments, good questions. And most of you probably already know, I also have lives on Thursdays at 7, but that's for psychic messages. YouTube, I want to just do more of info sharing and take people's questions and kind of get an idea of what people are looking for or trying to understand or want more information of. So, like I said, you're welcome to suggest other topics and I'll be happy to cover those. And also please invite other people. There are some people, there is always somebody that either lives in an area that's very, very, where they're very remote or very small, sparsely populated, and they don't have opportunities to connect with other like minds. So online is the second next best thing to do. There's a lot of good online groups that offer similar resources for free and other things. So I think it's good to help people connect when needed. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to do it, is to get an idea of people, what information people are looking for, what they need to know, and just help them to get more connected with their spiritual side. So let's see, where are we at now? Okay. Any more questions? I'll stay on another minute or so. Just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to ask. We've got Pamela, we've got Helen, and we've got a couple of others online. So I did post my website link in the comments, just at the top of the comments. So you're welcome to read up more about me and what I do. I did mention the development classes that I'm teaching. I teach level 1 and 2 group spiritual development classes. I also do one-on-one mentoring for those that want to hone their gifts or develop their spiritual gifts or just want more information in general. So most of that is on my website with descriptions of the topics that I teach and a brief line about each one. I also do one-on-ones, whether it's energy healings or private mediumship psychic readings. I offer those too, and also have a book online. It's available online on Balboa Press website and also Amazon and a few other sites. The book title is called Simply Spirit. There is a link to it on my page. There's 2 books online with the exact same name. They're both called Simply Spirit. The one of mine is the picture of the sky and the beach and the ocean. And a picture of the cover is on my Facebook page under the tab My Book and Other Reads. So if that interests you, have a look at that. So I'm just going to say last call to anybody else who maybe wants to ask a question. And I think I'm going to jump off and maybe try and get outside for a little bit. But does anybody else have any questions, spiritual development questions, before I end the live that they would like to ask? Or if you think of something after the live or in the coming days, message me and or bring it to the next live, and I'd be happy to discuss or cover that topic. I'm open to whatever you're looking to learn about, spiritual development speaking. So suggestions are appreciated. So Last chance. I'm about to end the live, so just want to make sure you get your questions in. If you're all good, then hopefully you can join me either next Thursday on Facebook, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Thursday is always at 7 for the psychic messages, and or next Sunday on YouTube again between either 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. If I get a chance, I'll try and give a heads up on my Facebook page like today, but not always the case. But either or, subscribe to the channel so at least you get a notification when the lives begin. So if you are free, you can join in. So thanks for joining in, and until next Thursday or Sunday, hope you had a good weekend, and hope to see you all soon. Bye for now.